Greetings to everyone. This is Jed Schlackman. I'm a holistic counselor and spiritual energy healer. And for this video, I'll be speaking about the topic of diabetes and taking a fairly comprehensive look at this somewhat complex topic, seeing how people can understand the causes of diabetes and effectively heal this condition, restore healthy metabolism. For this video, I'll be giving a lot of information of an educational nature. This is not intended to replace diagnosis or treatment from qualified healthcare providers. So with that quick disclaimer, let's proceed and look into what diabetes is and how you can reverse that condition, how you can bring your body back into a healthy equilibrium, a state where there's healthy metabolism of sugar. Diabetes is a condition that concerns the metabolism of sugar, your body's ability to maintain blood sugar levels and to utilize sugar that is consumed. Sugar, in a sense, is essential to life, so that's the primary source of energy that people are getting from their diet. So carbohydrates are something that's fundamentally vital to our well-being. They're definitely not something that's inherently bad or harmful to us. They're really our primary source of fuel or energy in that sense. So if we have a problem metabolizing sugar, of course that's going to lead to significant consequences or repercussions for our health and well-being. With diabetes, the symptoms can involve both spikes in blood sugar, so the blood sugar level goes very high, or severe drops in blood sugar. And of course there's what's called insulin resistance, where insulin isn't having its effect, its natural role of utilizing sugars carried out. So there's something that's interfering with the function of insulin in our body's tissues. And that, in a sense, is often the deeper cause of diabetic symptoms or patterns. This insulin resistance or interference with the activity of insulin in the body. Now, insulin is a chemical, a hormone that's produced in the pancreas. So the pancreas is generally thought to be the key organ in our digestive system that's associated with diabetes. However, this organ, the pancreas, in a sense, is playing on a team with other digestive organs, most notably the liver. Now, the liver is the organ which handles fats and oils that we consume, and it's also a vital organ for detoxification, for helping our body clear out any chemicals or toxins, waste products that have been built up. So for the liver to perform its role with fats, it needs to be in a healthy state and not compromised. However, for many people, the liver is to at least some extent overburdened or compromised, and therefore its ability to properly handle fats and oils is somewhat limited. So that when you consume a significant amount of fats and oils, especially the heated and more processed ones, the liver can't really handle that. and those fats will end up accumulating in your body's tissues where they interfere with insulin. So this diabetic pattern, well, we often think of it as part of a problem with the pancreas. We blame the pancreas. It actually begins with the liver's fat metabolism. So once that issue starts to appear, the insulin resistance occurs, then the pancreas has to respond or adapt to that. One way it does this often is by producing less insulin. Since the insulin isn't performing its function well, if the pancreas were to produce too much insulin, then that would actually remove too much of the sugar from our body, from our bloodstream. So we'd have kind of a sugar crash, a great lack of energy, and so that's just as dangerous as having too much sugar. So over time, this becomes a pattern. The pancreas now gets used to producing less than normal amounts of insulin. And then the medical intervention is often to start giving synthetic or supplemental forms of insulin, injecting them or giving some type of pill or medication a person can take. So these are kind of like band-aids that are used to, in a way, cover up the underlying problem or cause. Now, with diet, many people think that they can address this diabetes issue by carefully monitoring or managing their diet, in particular monitoring their carbohydrate intake. So there's a great focus on carbohydrates and sugars, and people presume that by limiting or moderating this sugar intake, they'll reduce the symptoms or hazards of diabetes. Now, of course, if you're not consuming much sugar, your body won't need to produce much insulin, and the more obvious effects or repercussions of diabetes will be less likely to surface or appear. So you can certainly reduce those symptoms of diabetes when you limit the carbohydrate intake in your diet. However, when you do this, you're not addressing the underlying causes, and many of the diets that limit carbohydrate intake actually have high levels of other things in the diet that are actually aggravating the underlying problem, in particular the issue with the liver and with fat metabolism. So people are often using ketogenic types of diets now, which are usually higher fat diets that have a very low carbohydrate intake. So they're cutting out the carbohydrates to reduce the surface level symptoms of diabetes, but at the same time they're consuming a lot of fats and oils, and those fats and oils will tend to further aggravate the compromised liver. So if the person were to go off of that diet and start to consume some more carbohydrates, they'll often have even worse diabetic symptoms than before they started that diet. So that diet kind of works like a temporary band-aid to cover over the diabetic issue, but not addressing the actual cause of that issue and potentially making things even worse. A different approach that people have used with diet for reversing diabetes is shifting more toward a raw plant-based diet. With a plant-based diet, if you're doing it in a raw whole foods type of way, you're usually consuming a lot of fruits and vegetables in their whole raw form. So when you do that, you're getting more water, more liquid in the diet, and less oil. So raw plant foods tend to be high in minerals and vitamins and the water to hydrate you, while they tend to be low in oils. Any food you consume will tend to have at least a small or tiny amount of oil in it. So even plant foods will have a small amount of the plant's essential oil in it. However, most plants have a very low concentration of oil in them. It's usually only the seeds of plants or fruits that have somewhat higher concentrations of oil. And in their raw form, those oils are often somewhat healthy for us. So we do, of course, need certain essential fatty acids, certain oils in our diet in moderate amounts. If we go too long without them, that can contribute to health challenges. So if we go to that more raw, whole foods, plant-based type of diet, we'll want to be cautious that we don't go too far in terms of avoiding oils, but at least for a while we can go very low in our oil consumption to help give the liver an opportunity to cleanse, to regenerate itself. So for people dealing with diabetes and many other health challenges, that raw, vegan, whole foods type of diet will be helpful because it allows for a detoxification process to occur. It allows for the liver to kind of catch up with the burden that it's been given to clear toxins out of the body and to break down whatever fats are being consumed so that they don't get stuck in the body's tissues. So for the long term, this type of diet can be quite beneficial for reversing diabetes, and most people will find at least some immediate or short-term benefit from adopting that type of diet. You'll find many people who will report having completely reversed their diabetes even within a period of a month or two using that type of raw plant-based diet. So this is something you can consider if you're looking to reverse diabetes. Temporarily, you will want to perhaps go fairly low with the carbohydrates. So even if you do that raw plant-based diet, for the short term, you might want to limit the sweeter fruits that you consume so that you can give your organs time to regenerate so that the body's ability to use insulin to handle sugars comes back to a more normal and healthy state. And then once it has done that, you won't really have to worry about limiting the healthy carbohydrates. Your body will be able to handle them, and it will also be able to handle moderate amounts of healthy fats. So this is a process that you want to be patient with and committed to, making this type of shift in your diet and lifestyle. Now, there are other critical factors in addition to your diet that will help support this healing process. One is your overall lifestyle, so making sure you're getting enough sleep or rest. Sleep and rest are key to helping the liver cleanse and detoxify. So if you're not getting much sleep, it's hard for the liver to catch up, to repair itself, to remove the excess fats from your tissues. Another factor is exercise. So you would normally want to have at least a moderate amount of exercise to improve your circulation, to get things moving in your body and your tissues and your bloodstream. One thing that occurs with fat buildup in the body is the blood becomes more stagnant, so less oxygen, less nutrients are getting to the cells in your body. So you want to make sure that your body is getting well nourished, and getting good circulation will help ensure that. And another really vital factor is psychology, having to do with stress and emotions. I mentioned that the liver and the pancreas are these vital organs that are impacted in the process that we label diabetes. Well, if we can address the emotions that are related to those organs, then we'll be able to free up more energy for those organs to function to their optimal ability. For the liver, anger and resentment are the emotions which tend to build up and block the energy flow. While for the pancreas, that organ has to do with our ability to enjoy life, to have fun, fulfillment, and enjoyment. So if we can take steps to release whatever angers or resentments we're holding, and to be more fully open, fully present with the positive, enjoyable things in our life, then the energy will start to flow more freely to support the functioning of these organs. So taking steps to balance your diet, to go toward a more cleansing diet to help your liver catch up with things, and to release the emotional baggage, to be more in the flow of life, more free to enjoy each day, and to be more active physically, to help get your blood circulating well, to help the lymphatic system clear out the buildup of toxins in your body. These are all things that can help you as you take steps to work on healing diabetes. One thing that will also help is to read about how other people have healed from this, to know that it's very possible and something that's really probable in a sense if you make the commitment to make those changes in your life. So there's no reason why you can't heal from diabetes. It's mainly a matter of educating yourself and following through with this clear understanding of what's actually been causing the diabetic pattern or symptoms. Once you have that understanding and awareness, then you can be even more motivated to take the healthy steps to change your life, to regenerate your body. I hope that this discussion has given you some support, some insight, and will inspire you to research this topic further and to take action in your life, to make the changes in your mindset, in your diet and lifestyle, so that you can find greater health and well-being. I appreciate each of you for taking your time to view this video. You're welcome to visit my website, phinsights.com. That's phinsights.com, where you can learn more about holistic health and the services which I offer. You can also view more of the videos on my YouTube channel. For now, I'd like to wish each of you a wonderful day. Namaste.